Have you ever wondered how the German Spearhead, a seemingly unstoppable force, dominated the early years of World War II? This question has puzzled historians for decades. The German Spearhead, a crucial component of the Blitzkrieg strategy, was a force to be reckoned with, striking fear into the hearts of opponents and leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. Its impact on World War II cannot be overstated. The term Blitzkrieg translates to lightning war, a fitting description of the swift and brutal tactics employed by the German forces. The Spearhead was the sharp point of this lightning bolt, charging ahead with devastating speed and ferocity. Its approach was simple yet effective. Concentrate forces at a specific point, break through enemy lines and encircle them. This created a sense of confusion and panic that often led to swift victory. But what made the German Spearhead so formidable? Let's delve into the intricacies that made this force nearly invincible. To understand the German Spearhead, we must first explore the birth of Blitzkrieg. The term Blitzkrieg hails from Germany and translates to lightning warfare. It was a military strategy conceived in the early 20th century, a strategy that would come to define a significant part of the Second World War. Imagine a thunderbolt from Zeus himself, swift, unyielding and devastating. That's Blitzkrieg for you. The core principle of Blitzkrieg was to concentrate the offensive power at the weakest point in an enemy's line. The aim was to break through this point and encircle the enemy, cutting off their supply lines and their retreat. It was a strategy that emphasized speed, surprise, and superior command and control. The Blitzkrieg strategy was not born overnight. It was the brainchild of German military strategists who were looking for a way to circumvent the static trench warfare that had characterized the First World War. They drew inspiration from various sources, including the fast-paced tank warfare envisioned by British strategists and the principles of air power advocated by Italian theorists. The initial implementation of Blitzkrieg was in the invasion of Poland in 1939. The German forces, with their panzer divisions and Stuka dive bombers, were able to quickly penetrate Polish defences and encircle large portions of the Polish army. The speed and the intensity of the attack left the Poles and the world stunned. Blitzkrieg had announced its arrival on the world stage. The German Spearhead was a key component of the Blitzkrieg strategy. It was the pointed tip of the German offensive, made up of the most potent elements of the German armed forces, the panzer divisions and the motorized infantry. The Spearhead was designed to punch through enemy lines, penetrate deep into enemy territory, and disrupt the enemy's command and control. The German Spearhead emerged as the sharp edge of this lightning warfare, designed to pierce enemy lines and create chaos. This was the birth of Blitzkrieg, a strategy that would change the face of warfare in the 20th century. Now that we've understood Blitzkrieg, let's dissect the German Spearhead. The Spearhead, a term synonymous with the tip of an attack, was the leading edge of the German war machine during World War II. Its structure and composition were as formidable as they were intricate. At the core of the Spearhead were the armoured divisions, the steel beasts of war that tore through enemy lines. These divisions were made up of tanks, armoured vehicles and self-propelled guns. Each armoured division was a force to be reckoned with, possessing the firepower to decimate opposition and the resilience to weather counterattacks. But they were not alone on the battlefield. Accompanying the armoured divisions were the infantry units. These foot soldiers were the backbone of the Spearhead, providing vital support to the armoured divisions. They would secure captured territory, mop up remaining enemy resistance, and defend the armoured divisions against close-quarters attacks. The symbiotic relationship between the armoured divisions and the infantry was a key factor in the Spearhead's effectiveness. And then there was the air support. The Luftwaffe, Germany's air force, provided a crucial third dimension to the Spearhead. From the sky, they would scout enemy positions, disrupt enemy movements, and provide direct support to ground forces. The coordination between ground and air units was a testament to the German military's organizational prowess. Each unit within the Spearhead had a specific role to play, and they played it to perfection. The armoured divisions would punch a hole through enemy lines. The infantry would then flood through this hole, securing the breach and fanning out to create a wider front. Meanwhile, the air support would keep the enemy off balance, preventing them from effectively countering the initial breakthrough. This well-oiled machine of destruction was not just a random assembly of units, but a meticulously planned and coordinated force. Each cog in the machine knew its place and did its job with ruthless efficiency. The Spearhead was more than just the tip of the German war machine. It was the embodiment of their approach to warfare. Fast, focused, and ferocious. With the structure in place, how did the German Spearhead perform on the battlefield? In the realm of warfare, few military strategies have been as distinctive or as transformative as the German Spearhead. This concept, which was a cornerstone of the Blitzkrieg, was put to the test in several notable battles and campaigns during the Second World War, and its impact was nothing short of spectacular. Consider the Battle of Sedan in May of 1940. Here, the German Spearhead was instrumental in securing a swift victory against the French. The German forces, organized into a sharp, penetrating spearhead, punched through the French lines with a speed and ferocity that left their opponents reeling. This lightning-fast assault shattered the French defenses, paving the way for the fall of France. Next, let's turn our attention to the invasion of the Soviet Union in June of 1941. Here too, the German Spearhead played a pivotal role. The German forces, arranged into a series of spearheads, sliced through the Soviet defenses like a hot knife through butter. The speed and intensity of the German assault took the Soviets by surprise, leading to a series of spectacular victories for the Germans. Lastly, who could forget the German Spearhead's role in the Battle of Kursk in July of 1943? While this battle is often remembered for its massive tank battles, the German Spearhead was a key part of the German strategy. Despite facing a formidable Soviet defense, the German forces, organized into a spearhead, were able to penetrate deep into Soviet territory, wreaking havoc and causing considerable damage. These victories, and many others, were not mere coincidences. They were the result of a well-thought-out and meticulously executed military strategy. The German Spearhead, with its emphasis on speed, surprise, and overwhelming force, proved to be a game-changer on the battlefields of the Second World War. These victories were a testament to the devastating effectiveness of the German Spearhead. However, like all things, the German Spearhead had its weaknesses. The Spearhead was not invincible. It was a formation that thrived on speed and surprise. However, when these elements were neutralized, the Spearhead was vulnerable. Strategic blunders, scarce resources, and the adaptability of the Allies all played a part in the downfall of the German Spearhead. Let's start with strategic mistakes. The Spearhead was a powerful tool, but not a universal one. Its effectiveness diminished in certain terrains and against certain defenses. The Battle of Stalingrad, for example, saw the Spearhead falter in urban warfare. The narrow city streets hampered the mobility of the German tanks, nullifying the Spearhead's advantage of speed. Moreover, the harsh Russian winter further crippled the German forces, a factor they had failed to adequately prepare for. Then there were resource shortages. The Spearhead required a large amount of fuel and ammunition to maintain its momentum. As the war dragged on, these supplies became increasingly scarce. The German industry could not keep up with the demand, and the Spearhead began to slow, becoming an easy target for the Allies. Finally, we cannot overlook the adaptability of the Allies. They were quick to learn and quicker to adapt. They studied the Spearhead, understood its strengths, and exploited its weaknesses. The British, for instance, developed the Hedgehog defence, a formation of anti-tank guns and infantry that could withstand the Spearhead's initial assault and then counter-attack effectively. The Americans, on the other hand, ramped up their production of tanks and aircraft, outnumbering the German forces and overwhelming them on multiple fronts. In the end, the Spearhead was a double-edged sword. It was a formidable force when used correctly, but its overuse and misapplication led to its downfall. The Spearhead, initially a symbol of German military prowess, ironically became a testament to their strategic overreach. It was a harsh lesson in the importance of flexibility, adaptability, and resource management in warfare. In the end, the German spearhead, once a symbol of German military prowess, became a symbol of their overreach. So, what remains of the German spearhead today? As we delve into the annals of history, the legacy of the German spearhead continues to reverberate. This battle strategy, once a paradigm of military innovation, forever transformed the landscape of warfare. The spearhead, or Blitzkrieg as it was known, ushered in a new era of rapid, decisive combat that prioritized speed and surprise over sheer numbers. It was a game-changer, a stroke of strategic genius that sent shockwaves through the military world at the time. In the modern era, the lessons of the German spearhead remain relevant. It's seen in the way military strategists emphasize speed and agility, the importance of swift decision-making, and the use of cutting-edge technology. The spearhead's influence is woven into the fabric of contemporary military doctrine, a testament to its enduring impact. Though the German spearhead may be a relic of the past, its influence on military strategy is still felt today.